You may have seen some of my music videos. You may have seen some videos where I speak light language. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about my experience and how that came about in another video. But just for now, this is because it's what I'm guided to do. Because through our words, our thoughts, what we read, art, music, all of these things resonate in our spirit. And you know, speaking the light language has been something that's been very hard for me. Some people call it tongues, whatever you want to call it. It does not matter. It's all the same. And it's funny because a lot of people don't realize this, but if you look in the Bible, I'm not a Bible person, but I did have to look this up. Jesus prophesied that people would be speaking in tongues. And in Corinthians, what's his name? I think it's Paul, talks about how people are going to be speaking in tongues. And so this is not just me. This is a lot of people are doing this. And a lot more people are going to start doing this. And this also is about moving energy with our hands. These are all things that are grasped by our subconscious, right? Our higher selves. And so that's why a lot of times whenever I speak the light language, or you see a video and I'm moving my hands, or I say we're going to clear the throat chakra, or different things like that, it is actually moving energy. And that is what it is designed to do. And you're not really supposed to understand it with your conscious mind, because it's all about triggering things in your subconscious and in your soul to move energy and to your soul understands these messages. That's what it really is. And so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, because I feel like there's a lot of people who really don't understand what this is and what it's about, and that we are moving into this. A lot more people are going to start waking up to this. So when you see me do things and I'm rubbing my hands, or you see me doing these things, these are light codes that have been given to me. And again, I'll talk about that later. But some of you might find yourself wanting to do that when you see this. And that is because you are being initiated into this higher consciousness where we talk about telepathy and different things that are happening, that are going to happen as we raise in consciousness. And I just wanted to put this message out there to say this and to deliver this, and to say that if you follow me on this page, you're probably going to be seeing a lot more. I'm going to talk a little bit about how I came into speaking the light language, doing light codes, reading light codes, delivering light codes, all of that. And it all happened in this, and it's crazy for me to say because I've never been a Jesus person, but one night I was having a breakdown and I felt this hand reach for me, and I knew who it was in my soul, and I felt this like love come like right through me. And I was taken to a place, and I know it sounds crazy, and I don't really give a shit what you think, but anyway, I was taken to this place outside of this world, we'll say. I felt like this vibration in my being that felt like, if you've ever been to what's it called, Top Fuel, and you've ever, like, that feeling of when they gun in the gas, your whole body's vibrating. That's what my body was doing on the way to where we were going. And I just wanted to hold this being's hand. He came to me as a light being. And I didn't want to come back. But when I got there, what I saw was no floors, no walls, no ceilings, nothing. But it was a wall of screen. And it was like a gray screen, like back in the old days when the TV would be like static. But it was very thin, very almost transparent, and everything was lights. So if you ever seen things that are outside of this realm, and the colors are different and they're not the same as here, but it's blue is blue, but you won't see it here. That's what I'm getting. And everything is light, so there's a density to it that's almost transparent, but not transparent, but it's made of light. And it's very hard to describe if you've never had an experience like this. So anyway, I'm looking at the screen and I'm seeing light codes that are moving in all different directions at the same time. Simultaneously, these things are just, and it's so fast that my mind could not grasp it, like my conscious mind could not grasp it. At the same time that this is happening, I'm not hearing with my ears, I'm feeling it through my being, sound. And it was music, it was kids laughing, kids playing, people talking, like, was it is that fax machine noises, and it sounded like computers and robots and singing, like music playing, all different sorts of instruments, and it was all flowing through my being. I cannot even describe it because it was so much. Like I almost couldn't almost couldn't. It was so much. It was overwhelming. Had I not been in this high vibration to be there and to experience this all through my being, like it, to this day, I cannot draw one light code that I saw. And to this day, I see them in my third eye when I'm delivering these messages, whether it's through light languages or through my hands or whatever it is. I can see them in my third eye, but they move so fast that I cannot pin them down. I just can't. But anyway, so that's just a little bit on my experience on how I got to this, like how I was given these light codes, how I was activated into speaking the light language. So 333 on the timer, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. So let me tell the rest of this. So one day it was like a kundalini awakening. I can't even talk. Something came through me one day. I just snapped. I fucking snapped. I lost my shit. And this power came through me that I cannot explain. And it was almost, it was so powerful. It was like, so what I can describe it as is like, if you can imagine like Archangel Michael and all that power where he's doing the war for the good, you know what I'm saying? It felt almost like I was ready to just damn somebody. I don't know, I can't explain it. But it was a light power. Like it was like nothing I've ever experienced before. And so again, this is just something that I wanted to share because I feel like some people are going to have this experience. I just feel like they are. I feel like more people are going to have these experiences. And I feel like that day when that happened to me, I was delivered. That's what I feel like. I feel like I was delivered. And like I said, I don't expect everyone to understand it. They're not going to. But for some of you, if you are in a higher consciousness, you are a higher being, you may have already had this experience. I don't know. Or it's coming. I don't know. That's all I just wanted to share this. Take care. So I'm going to call this part 3. Even though I didn't label part one, but anyway, part 2 is labeled part 2. So something that, because I got off track a little bit, something I didn't talk about is like when I came back from this, if you didn't see the other 2, talking about my Jesus experience and my light code initiation and all this stuff. When I came back from this astral projection, he's still human, baby. Astral projection, I felt myself leave that place. And while I was there and I was seeing all these light codes and all this stuff, I was by myself. I was just like left alone. But I still don't want to come back. I didn't give a shit. I didn't care nobody was there. Because it was such a feeling that was like nothing that you will ever experience on this planet, I'm telling you. But anyway, when I started coming back, I was like, damn. I could feel it. And then I felt myself like bam, right back into my body. And I looked around, and so you probably don't know this about me, but I live in a fifth wheel, but you don't have no motor on it or nothing. It ain't never had one, and it ain't hooked to nothing, but that's what it felt like because I talked about this top fuel feeling, right? And whenever I was put into this high vibration, and I looked around, and everything in my room was vibrating still. So it was almost like I was sent back. And while my vibe was devibing, you know, I got away with words. While I was devibing, everything was still vibrating, but like not like it was when I was in my astral projection. And so that was like I feel like that was meant to be like, yes, you did experience this. Yes, you are back. And yes, everything in the room is vibrating. Because if you look on one side, there's a mirror, and the other side, or, straight ahead was my blinds. And then to my right was like my shower area and all that stuff. And I looked, I kept looking around, and everything was like, and coming down. And so that was a crazy ass experience. And then for I don't know how many days, I was just like, what in the hell has happened? And so another thing too is something that I've always done, and I didn't realize that that's what I was doing. And for a lot of you, you might do this too, and you may not be able to see it, is that when you are channeling, sometimes in the mid-sentence you're talking, you just go off into space, or you are looking at something. People always ask me, what am I looking at? Who am I looking at? Whatever. This is actually me reading those light codes through my third eye. And for some reason, my eyes are directed to where these codes are. I also see them in my meditation, and they look like, what's it called? Lava lamp. Right, so like I'll see the codes, and then it'll bubble in, it'll bubble out, and different things. And so that's a lot of times what I'm looking at. And when I get off course, it's because I'm reading them. And then sometimes I have to ask for them back because, or, I take a pause because that's what I'm doing. I'm reading them to translate them into words. And so a lot of you might actually see these light codes through your third eye. You just don't realize it because you can't see them with your people eyes. So I hope this helps. I hope that this helps you realize that sometimes you're not, when you think you're spacing out and you think, well, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing or what's going on, or I'm trailing off. It's not like, all these, I'm not a doctor, but anyway, all these professionals say, oh, well, you got something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? It is a lot of times you being getting channeled messages, transmitting and translating light code energy, and a lot of times it may give you a little bit later clarity on things, or like when somebody's talking to you, it's like you're reading codes to tell them something, whatever it is that you are. I heard the word stationed in this person's or these people's lives, to tell them to deliver a message, because you are a messenger. If you follow me, you're a messenger. You know what I mean? Like it's they don't know no news. But so a lot of times we take that as in something's wrong with this, or I'd be in the mid-sentence and just be like, what the fuck am I talking about? It's because you're channeling. So I hope this helps somebody to understand that, and that we are not all just a bunch of fucking dingbats, because we're not. We actually have so much more going on than we can actually see in our world. And people who don't do this, or I feel like everyone does it, not everyone is conscious to it. And that's what this awakening is about, right? Is bringing people's consciousness to what is really going on all around us and creating our reality. And some people are asleep to it. They don't realize that they too are being delivered messages through channeling and higher consciousness. And whether or not we choose to listen depends on whether or not we're going to get our ass handed to us. And I think we've learned that too. Take care. I love you. Blessed be.